What's poppin', guys? You got your coach of the Gym Chargers for our Week 4 team analysis of the GBA. Gonna be taking on Jolt of the Kansas City Jirachiefs, and the man who got me into the draft format in the first place. He has a team of Celesteela, Hydreigon, Arcanine, Mega Venusaur, Seismitoad, Aerodactyl, Regular Rotom, Gardevoir, alolan Persian, Burlum, and a Durant. The list should appear to your right momentarily. Taking a look at it, my first impressions, of course, was that he definitely has a better matchup in terms of his Pokemon that he has, due to the fact that he can he has so many options he can bring. Very tough to figure out exactly what sets he's bringing, and just trying to prepare for it. But I felt the best route versus him, of course, was gonna be to bring, I guess, like my Electric Core, Tapu Koko, alolan Raichu plus Mega Pinsir. The way that I wanted to go about this match was to try to break down Celesteela with my Electric Core so that I can, finish the rest of his team with my Pinsir and have a good offensive core while also having a great defensive backbone to the team. So I'll go over the offensive Pokemon first. I have Tapu Koko with the Terrain Extender, and that will allow, the terrain to be up for a longer period of time. Pretty much like, in weather now you can run like Smooth Rock and all that kind of stuff, Heat Rock and things like that. And to prolong the weather effects. Terrain Extender does that with the terrain, so that's actually really useful for having a Pokemon that abuses the terrain in alolan Raichu with the Surge Surfer. So I have Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Dazzling Gleam, U-Turn, and I have enough speed to outrun his alolan Persian, which I felt was the fastest I can outrun. I mean, like, speed tying Aerodactyl doesn't really matter too much. The additional bulk that I'm given with this EV spread will allow me to live any hit from it anyways. So even if he's like an offensive Aerodactyl, I can still live an Earthquake from pretty much like full HP or something and Volt Switch. So I don't have to really risk the speed tie and have less bulk and a less chance of living. So this I felt was better. And Dazzling Gleam is just great versus his team because it can hit Seismitoad decently hard, I guess. It does really well versus Hydreigon and alolan Persian and things like that. And of course, T-Bolt, Volt Switch. I wanted to run Volt Switch and U-Turn both. Both forms of momentum were great because once Seismitoad is gone, I can freely click Volt Switch anytime I want. And I know for a fact he's bringing that. Like, the Pokemon that I think he's bringing, of course, are Celesteela, which is his Z Pokemon, his Z user. So I feel like he might want to bring that in a more offensive form due to the fact that, maybe he can autotomize and do stuff like that. So I'm more prepared for I guess a more offensive Celesteela, since I feel like if it's a defensive set, I can kind of break it down with my electric type attacks and just wear it down, try to like burn it or something with one of my Scald attackers, things like that. And yeah, so I feel like it's just a great Pokemon to bring nice momentum with U-Turn and Volt Switch, of course. And of course, alolan Raichu, which is just a solid Pokemon. Life Orb 4 attacks is the way that I wanted to go here, so that it can hit as hard as possible. I have modest nature and enough speed so that we can outrun a timid Gardevoir. So with Gardevoir, like, the thing is, I've seen him run Specs and Scarf, so I definitely think he's gonna bring one of those. Scarf seems more reasonable because if he's Scarf, then he copies Surge Surfer and he's actually faster than my Raichu. So I think he'd want to bring Scarf due to the fact that it can actually outrun Koko, Pinsir, alolan Raichu, things like that. So I do have. So I'll go to the rest of the team soon, but yeah, my main offensive core here is gonna be Koko, Raichu, Mega Pinsir. Raichu, of course, having Volt Switch. I don't really want to bring Grass Knot. I don't want to over prep for Seismitoad because I feel like moves like Psychic, Life Orb will just punch through it anyways, and he's more than likely going to run a Rindo Berry. So it's probably more useful just to have things that hit hard by itself without being reliant on super effectively covering it, because he can just run a berry on it, I feel. So yeah, this is the way that I want to go. Focus Blast will be able to deal with his Hydreigon, which would otherwise kind of wall it. And Volt Switch plus U-Turn gives me a really nice Volt Turn core. We have Mega Pinsir, which is SD3 attacks, close combat, so that we can have an attack that hits Celesteela neutrally. If he's offensive, Celesteela +2 after Rock should knock him out. And yeah, we have Hyper Cutter, pre-Mega, so that we can switch, so that if he goes into like Arcanine with Intimidate, I definitely think he's bringing Arcanine for sure, because I expect him to want to, I guess, abuse the terrain and have Wild Charge and stuff. I think it's pretty good Pokemon, and I don't have too many Fire Switch-ins other than Slowbro, which does get Wild Charged and stuff. So I definitely want to prepare for that. I'm trying to like prepare for every Pokemon on his team, I guess. So Mega Pinsir can do really well in terms of dealing with a lot of the Pokemon that is not Celesteela, basically. So yeah, last 3 Pokemon we got here are going to be Empoleon, Amoonguss, and Slowbro. We'll talk about Empoleon first. So I'm running a Shuca Berry so that we can deal with the Seismitoad. It's probably going to be like all of the test matches that I've had versus a Seismitoad. Empoleon's been able to deal with it really well. You know, Scald, Earth Power. Like we have Shuca Berry so that we can deal with that. The ground type moves from that, and Grass Knot so that we can retaliate back. Enough speed so that we can outrun a Seismitoad, because actually Seismitoad I'm pretty sure is faster than Empoleon. So we can outrun a very little to no speed investment Seismitoad, as long as it's like, you know, not trying to be faster or anything. We have Rocks Defog, so we can get up rocks, we can defog away rocks. Pretty much what you expect it to do. Empoleon already, like the first 3 weeks, has proven to be a great defogger. So hopefully, like by the end of the season, we're gonna like you know, the meme of last season was the whole D+ thing. Now it's about Empoleon being a bad defogger. That's what all the analysts are saying. So by the end of the season, we gotta count up and see how many times that Empoleon's been successful, and just see how, you know. Yeah, I like Empoleon a lot as a Pokemon. It's just I feel like it's great in terms of what it does. It's a great answer to fairy types and stuff. A good check to, or a good switch into it. So we have Scald just for our main attack, and Grass Knot so that we can deal with the Seismitoad, and Shuca Berry so that we can eat up Earth Powers and stuff from it, or Earthquakes, I guess. It's pretty bulky overall, I'd say, and can do really well in that sense. We also have an Amoonguss, so I'm running a double AV on this team with Amoonguss and Slowbro. I think Slowbro set is pretty heat. Look at this. We got 3 attacks and counter. I'm gonna explain this one soon too. But we got a little bit of heat on this one, on this team here. So we have AV Amoonguss. So we got a more offensively based Amoonguss set. So it has a great amount of bulk with what it has here, and yeah, basically. So we have max defense. We have like a good amount of defense so that we can live. This is basically my answer to Durant. Okay, so Durant can kind of be a threat if he's like Hone Claws with like Life Orb or something. This can eat it up pretty well, and HP Fire OHKOs it completely. And we have Sludge Bomb, which it does a good amount of damage to things like Arcanine, Hydreigon, things like that. Giga Drain mainly for the Seismitoad, of course, and to get some health back. HP Fire. Like I needed something, like I could have also gone a different hidden power like Electric or something for Steela, but I needed HP Fire. I needed something for Durant. Like I'm trying to build a team that deals with every sort of Pokemon that he can bring. Like any kind of like 6 Pokemon that he brings. And Amoonguss does that so well. Like it can help me deal with the Durant, and it can deal with Breloom very well, because of course it will eat up +2 Facade from Breloom. I calc that. And yeah, so yeah, it's also like it's very great defensively, so it can still switch into like Aerodactyl and things like that, and just Giga Drain or Foul Play. And I don't know, it does pretty well in terms of what I want it to do. It's great because with Slowbro you can pivot back and forth and try to get Regenerator, get your HP to a good amount of health if you're weakened. So the two of them go really well together, Amoonguss, Slowbro. With Slowbro, we so this is gonna be a fun set to explain here. We have 3 attacks. It's kind of a bulky offensive assault that's Slowbro. 3 attacks plus counter, and so we have Scald, Psychic, Ice Beam, and counter. With counter, we can actually beat Arcanine with it, because let's say for instance like he is running an Arcanine with Wild Charge. I can click counter to that, and I live based on the EV spread that I have here. If he's banded, if he is a banded Arcanine with Wild Charge and there's Electric Terrain up, I'll live, and then counter will knock it out from full. It's better than relying on Scald, because Scald is not gonna OHKO it, and it could be also useful, especially versus like a physical Celesteela set. Maybe if it's trying to boost up or something with like Flynium Z, with Flynium Z Fly, then counter can do well versus that. Counter can also work well. It can eat a hit from Durant and counter that too. So yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I feel like 3 attacks plus counter. Psychic, it can hit Mega Venusaur. Ice Beam for like Hydreigon, Breloom, things like that. I mean, we have Psychic for that, but Ice Beam's great versus Hydreigon, which would otherwise wall these 2 moves here. So that's gonna be the team. Overall, like the goal is basically just to try to get rid of any Pokemon stopping Pinsir, and just try to clean up with Raichu. I think the team is pretty fun. And like I said, it's definitely going to be a tougher matchup just based on the Pokemon that he has, I'd say. I definitely think he's going to bring Mega Venusaur or he could bring like one of his grass types. I'd say either Mega Venusaur or Breloom. He'll definitely 100% bring the Seismitoad. He has to because it's his main rocker and his like answer, and his ground type, of course, answer to Koko Raichu. He'll bring probably, I'd say he'd bring Hydreigon, Celesteela. I think he'll bring Arcanine as well, and Gardevoir could come as well. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like Spectra Scarf, and Aerodactyl's another good bring because it can check Mega Pinsir pretty decently. So yeah, overall I think let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can cop another W, go 4-0. We're both 3-0 right now, so like this is like it's kind of sad to think about that this match is gonna give one of us an L, and yeah, so that's gonna be fun. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think, of course. And other than that, hope you all are excited for the match tomorrow, going up at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 24 hours from this video. And I will see you guys on the battle tomorrow. Peace.